Today I messed up. I came third in a competition of 2 people. Not recent, but I typed it all out to tell the story to someone and thought I should share it with the wider world. I must have been about 10 or 11. I turn up to my local community hall for a musical competition. When I get there, we are set into age groups. There's only one other guy in my age range, so I'm buzzing already at getting a medal, silver at the very least. He goes up, plays the piano and does a pretty good job. I go up. I play some violin. I mean, it's not great, but I was nervous and I got better as the nerves settled. He then goes up again, plays the xylophone, of all instruments, and goes back to his seat. He gets first and second, leaving me with third. The worst part was going back home and telling my dad. When I told him I came third, he asked how many were in the competition. 3. Ha ha ha, no. To this day I still proudly have the medal on my bedroom wall in my parents' house. Too long. Didn't read. Entered a competition with one other person who could play 2 instruments better than my one. Today I messed up by falling in love with a dog I rescued. Yesterday, me, 22, my 2 nephews, 6 and 12, and my boyfriend, 21, went out for a walk. It was a scorching 28 Celsius at 11 in the morning in rural mid-Wales, so a big deal for our usually wet country, and we came across a dog. He was a beautiful Clumber Spaniel mix and he was exhausted. He was gasping, drooling, and boiling hot. He couldn't even walk anymore. We gave him as much of our water as we could, having to pour it down his throat in little sips because he hadn't the strength to drink by himself. With the help of some other walkers, we carried this beautiful doggo to the nearest stream, about a half-mile away, and got him cooled off and feeling better. Then we took him home. My mom fell in love. She took him to the vet and had his chips scanned, only to find out it was way out of date and registered with a kennel in Ireland. We rang round and put up ads to see if anyone had lost a dog, and no luck. We let him into our home, and out hearts. We bought him food, a collar and leash. He had no collar when we found him. We really thought he'd be a lost dog that had been abandoned, and we were ready to be his new family. Well, today comes along and, well, his owner turned up. Turns out, his girlfriend lost him the previous day and didn't realize till this morning, from their small pack of gun dogs. And now I'm crying because I fell in love with this dog I saved and thought for sure he would be the companion my mum needs so much. Oh well. At least he's home with his real owner. Too long. Didn't read. I rescued a dog from dying of heat stroke, fell in love, then when I truly started believing we'd be keeping him forever, his owner turned up. Today I messed up by telling my date's father my intentions with his daughter. I was on my first date with a lovely girl named Michelle. I took her to what people my age consider a pretty nice restaurant for a date. She didn't know where we were going ahead of time. A few minutes after we ordered, her face turned bright red and she told me to hide. I was confused and about to ask why when an older couple approached our table and introduced themselves as Michelle's parents. After some brief, uncomfortable small talk, her father, who had already casually mentioned twice that he was a police officer, each time placing his hand where his gun holster would be, asked me a question I didn't know people still asked. What are your intentions with my daughter? For the record, my intentions were simply to get to know her and maybe start a relationship with her. Unfortunately, the question caught me off guard and I tend to, unfailingly, use humor as a defense mechanism. So I replied, I don't know, officer. I have attention deficit disorder. Michelle and her mother both burst into laughter, but her father was not amused. He dragged my date away, never to be heard from, by me, again. Too long. Didn't read. Date's parents happened to be at the restaurant. Father asks, what are your intentions with my daughter? I tell him I don't know due to my attention deficit disorder. He didn't like it and dragged my date away.